Hello and welcome to Dario's Comic School, and today we have Storytime. How I was this in 2010, how I came to write and draw The Last Pickup Artist, and why it's such a personal story. Hello, I'm Dario, 37 years old. I write and draw. I always aspired to be a writer-artist like Frank Miller, Mike Mignola, and that's what I'm aiming for. What is not only the last pickup artist, but what is a pickup artist, and what will be the Wasteland Manifesto? I didn't want to make this movie, but it kind of urged me, and I don't know really why, but I trust the soup, and we'll see what comes out of it. Let's go back to 2010 and even before that. Let's start with this very day. This is a fictional comic, and when I was in movie school, my documentary, he was a documentary director, Thorsten Truscheid. He always said, even if we write fictional books or documentaries, the research needs to be good. We need to know what is about. And we have in The Last Pickup Artist 1 this bar scene, and Dario meets this pickup artist, and then in the bar there is a certain point where he's saying, do you wanna be able to talk to those girls, or do you want to just sit here and do nothing? And this bar scene is now fictionalized in this comic, but it was a real scene, and I don't know if there is one superhero scene that makes you the superhero. I think life and this reality works that you tune in, and it gives you a gradual, it tips you in the right direction. And in 2010, I was getting into my power. I was studying. I was getting out of my hometown, and I was working out, and I was getting bigger. And I had lived through a very disempowering childhood, because my mother was very overprotective. My father died due to a heart attack in his 40s when I was 5. And I had dermatitis. I was kind of skinny fat. And all those things were maybe the mold for my superhero self. Am I a superhero? I think not. But it definitely was like the pain and all that things that we all were ignoring that then lead to a certain awareness to see what doesn't work and work. And before that, I was starting at a new school, and I was going out, and a girl was interested, and a good friend kept the drinks coming so I could get smooth. And first, at the beginning of the night, she was really into me, and then at the end of the night, she kind of ignored me, which I didn't understand how that was possible. It just wasn't in my mind. I was not only too young, I was too naive. I hadn't experienced much of the world, and I was 25, like. But it was a whole clusterfuck, like being raised by a single mother, having dermatitis, having asthma, being overprotected, being kind of on the poor side. Every time I wanted to earn money or get out, my mother or family, like, either I failed or they told me, like, it's okay not to push too hard for the things you want. And so I stayed in my little bubble. But I kind of couldn't, because I always, for starters, I couldn't do anything else. Like, the things I liked, and it were always high quality girls the special queens. I like drawings, good movies. Like my taste was good. So even though maybe I was a bit trashy or trash, um, my soul, my heart, everything in me aspired to be more and to become more. But I guess nobody really helped. And I had also the feeling that although people around me, like my sister, my mother, my friends, they all hoped and wished for my best. Nobody helped me, or nobody could help. Like it was like the crabs in the buckets. Like they always brought me back down, which is totally stupid. Like because like I teach now workshops, and if I see a kid with dermatitis, I go and speak to that kid and say, hey, I see you have dermatitis, and then mostly those people are shy or traumatized, and I say, hey man, I had it too, but now it's all gone and I'm all healed up, and it's all because of food and stress, and you can heal too. You don't have to live the shitty life. And that's very cool, because like I went through a difficult trial and came out the other end. And also like I make this channel because I don't want you, like, I don't know if my first video is called How I Quit My Day Job to Pursue My Dreams, but then like I missed the point where you learn the craft, and while you're learning the craft you need money, so you should have maybe a day job or something that supports you, or you will live a very poor and isolated life, because like you need money to do stuff. And getting completely out of the loop can be a very stupid thing, which I did, which is okay. It helped me create what I have, but I don't know if it was so healthy. So let's come to the point. What is a pickup artist? Then, after that girl ignored me, let's see how many minutes we're in. Okay, if you're still here, you're a true fan. So after that initial night, I came home. I was very down. I didn't understand the world, and my heart was broken. Again, nobody cared. None of my friends, like everybody, just like nobody came up and said, "Oh man, I know what you're going through, and that's hard," or that. Just everybody didn't care. Am I too sensitive? Am I too demanding? Like I have right here a thing that lets me do push-ups, squats, pull-ups, and dips. And here it said, self-reliance, forgive others and yourself, let go, stop waiting for the good things, do things you want. I always did. Which can also lead to massive and a lot of failure, which you're failing to success, but nobody tells you. And sometimes success isn't that shiny. Like, I'm making this video for the few people who view it. Maybe my mom doesn't view it, but maybe the one fan. But in my mind, it's already for a big crowd, but doesn't need to be. This is just a document for the time, for the people in need who need help. So nobody cared, and I got home and I was heartbroken. And a friend of mine who lived in this town, but was in that time, he lived in Hamburg, and he was here to visit, and he said, come on, come out, let's meet. And I said, man, I'm too depressed, I just want to go work out. And I said, come on, let's skip the workout, we haven't seen it in a long time, let's go out. And we went out, and I told him the story, and he introduced me to Pickup. And Pickup back then was like, I don't know what was it, 2010, and it was like this magical thing where he told him, like, he was the same, like, we all came from very nice guy, very pleasing families, which, I don't know, your mother said behave, your sister said, oh, just be nice, and school said, oh, don't be loud, just sit down. And then you wonder why you end up with men who are wimps, and nobody wants a wimp. Like, everybody wants a killer. You don't want to spend your time with boring people who do not know what they like and don't like. who do not get up and do the things they really passionately love. Like you want to hang out with the tribal leaders. But we didn't know. Nobody told us. Our fathers weren't there. Society maybe wasn't structured to be that way. And so we found Pickup. And the first book was called Magical Bullets by Savoy. Like everybody had this magician name. And then there was this Eric Markov type. And it's not like I don't respect these people. I do respect everybody of them because like they took something very human. They had something, a wound they had, like why can I get a girlfriend? Why is my life so shitty? And they figured it out in their own way. And then they did what most self-help people did. They wrote a book and they monetized it. And that's totally okay. But yeah, for me it was like the introduction from my friend. Let's see how far we're in. Okay, this is gonna be a 20-minute video. And it was like, man, you don't have to wait for permission. No woman needs to give you the permission to walk up and say, hi, I'm Dario. And just, you know what I mean? And of course, that doesn't mean that you should harass people. But yeah, it was like my friend introduced me, and that evening he listened to all my whining, which is okay. I would do the same because you cannot, like, sure, some people cry about stuff, but they just cry about because like it's learned helplessness. And this learned helplessness, it doesn't come from like just because they're flawed. Nobody's flawed. It's like if somebody's flawed, it's like our society, our parents, the things we get taught in movies and all of that. Like we have no real direction or you know what I mean? Nobody guides you. And so I wanted to be a guide. And in that night, I got my first guidance, and it could have been either way. Like my friend sat down there, and we were at a bar, and he told me, watch this. Like you will forget that woman that you're idolizing or that girlfriend that was so perfect. And I guess I was into her. Sure, she was hot. She was cute. She was amazing. But maybe I was putting her on a pedestal. Because no girl up until this point, well, not no girl, I had girlfriends, but it was a rare occasion sometimes. But yeah, she was cute. Like other people were also like, I was kind of split. I was a cool guy, but I was also not. And then he told me like, do you like a woman here? And I said, well, those are cute. And we were sitting in a McDonald's right here. And he said, okay, just stand up and walk over and ask if they have bananas. And I was thinking, he had introduced me over the night to some certain aspects and theory and stuff. And so I was open to it. And I also acknowledged that my life had to change to the better, to more freedom, to more self-reliance, to more of what I truly want to do with my life. And if I want a certain woman in my life, then I want that. And I lately watched Crazy Stupid Love with Ryan Gosling and Steve Carell. And it is like Ryan Gosling says, if you want something, you just take it. It's not that literal, but you as a man or you as a woman or you as a viewer, you have certain wants, needs and dreams, and sometimes we are not following that because so much comes at us and so many crabs are pulling us down again, but we can't. Like my spirit cannot live kneeling. It just can't. And so I stood up and I guess that was my superhero moment. I stood up and I walked over and I talked to these girls. And while I was talking to those girls, um, I kind of was funny, but I also bombed, which is here portrayed by this brr, 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 brr. And then my friend came over and he talked a bit with them, and then he said, "Hey, can we sit?" And they said, they checked us out like a second, and then they said, "Yeah, sure, sit down." And then we were spending half an hour just talking, and doesn't matter if it went anywhere, but just the possibility to be free to choose what you like or don't like in a dating sense, or as a man who didn't know, who always was asking for permission, or who always wondered why the jerks are getting all the girls. Now I don't wonder anymore, because like the jerks, like they do cool shit, they do stuff. At least they do something, and they can protect themselves and others, and they kind of take or do what they want. Sure, there's a fine line, but then there was this whole like, you're a beta male or sigma male, who gives a shit? Like, the only question is, are you in a disempowering state? Have you had childhood trauma, or were you raised by people who didn't nurture you the way it was right? And sure, you can go through some physical ailments, through some mental ailments, but I truly think and believe that everything can be overcome, because everything has its roots, and there will be a fix for your problems, I'm pretty sure. Or there will be a state where things can work out. So it's a long video. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the pickup artist movement. It was kind of the start for me, because there it started, and it started all with this Owen Cook character. Then later, a year or two later, and then Jeff Allen, which is here. And then I found Russell Brand and Sasha Cobra, and that was the time YouTube was flourishing, and Teal Swan and Sasha Daygame and Kellen Wilbur and Elliot Hals and Gary Vaynerchuk and the buff dudes like Hudson and James Marshall from The Natural Lifestyles. And this was for me a window to look into the world, that I could improve my health, that I could maybe earn a living with my passion, that I could heal childhood trauma, that I could choose a partner or a woman I really like, that I was not at a mercy or at somebody else. And so after all these years, the pickup artist thing, which was at the beginning very like, oh, you need to walk up and you need to say this and then you say that, or you need to wear outlandish stuff so you get noticed, or it was very technique based. But with time, everybody, or like in the past 20 years, like I guess every dating coach changed to a kind of spiritual coach, or somebody who helps you develop yourself. And I'm trying to do that with my comics, because like we'll see, I will zoom in, I want to go from this person to this person. And that's like a cool dream, but yeah, maybe we can make dreams a reality by putting in the small action daily and by walking towards our dreams. Does it mean that it will go just in one direction, up? No. It's mostly like you go up, you go down, you go up, you go down, you go up, you go down, 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 down. And it's a journey. It's not the destination. It is the destination, and sometimes you have things that you really enjoy, but then comes the next step and the next step. And I guess being on the journey and being grateful for the moments, and also keep pushing, but also keep trusting, keep coming back, or keeping to come back to your own things or to what you really are, shedding parts of yourself that you're not anymore. Like that is what pickup is really about. Yeah, I don't know, 20 minutes, a bit of strange talk, but I was kind of urged to do it. I don't follow every urge, but lately I'm going for the intuition thing and trying it out again and see where it leads me. I see you in the next video.